Welcome. In this video, we will talk about toxicology. Why toxicology is important. Every day, we make choices about what we do or what we eat, often without thinking about the risks associated with the choices. Now, we are aware of the risk of cancer from smoking cigarette or the risk of lead poisoning, and we know there is a greater risk of having an accident if we cross a street where there is no light or crosswalk. So, a basic concept of toxicology is the statement of Paracelsus that say the dose is the difference between a poison and a cure. Right? So, to evaluate the level of dangers from various substances, natural or synthetic, we need a risk assessment, and we do this by exposing laboratory animal to the substance and monitor the health effect. Now, a measure of toxicity is LD50 or lethal dose, which is the concentration of the substance that causes death in 50% of the test animal. The unit is milligram per kilogram body mass or microgram per kilogram body mass. For example, caffeine. The lethal dose of caffeine is 192 milligram per kilogram. Others evaluation need to be made, but the first line in contact is we compare lethal dose value, right? Here is some lethal dose value. For example, aspirin, a painkiller. Lethal dose is 1100 milligram per kilogram. Now, aspirin is a painkiller you can buy over the counter, okay? So, but if you consume too much aspirin, then it might pose a serious issue. That's why on the bottle of aspirin, they say, do not take more than 6 tablets for 24 hours, and you should take you should take 1 tablet every 4 to 6 hours, okay? Because you don't want to get sick or worse, death because you're taking too much aspirin. Um, Another is parathion, a pesticide. The lethal dose is 3 milligram per kilogram. Okay, very toxic. Nowadays, when we talk about toxicology or when we evaluate uh, the safety, the risk of any chemical, we often or always consider two things: the concentration or the lethal dose in this case, and second, how people get into contact with this chemical. For example, let's talk parabens. Okay? If you pay attention or if you follow some influencers on either Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok, you name it, you might come across this statement, parabens cause cancer. This statement is not wrong, but it's misleading. Now, poor Baraban that you bought directly from chemical company, yes, it will cause cancer. But we talk about parabens in cosmetic industry here. Paraben is a preservative in cosmetic. And per FDA regulation, normally the concentration of paraben or preservative, any preservative in cosmetic product, about 0.1 to 1%, no more than that. Okay, so paraben in cosmetic concentration 0.1 to 1%. That concentration or the dose is very low. Okay, because the higher the concentrate, the more dangerous it is. But paraben in cosmetic, low concentration. So it's not a dangerous, a poor paraben. B, second, how did you get into contact with paraben? Paraben is used in cosmetic, so it's a topical treatment. Okay, you put it on your skin, and one of the characteristics of paraben is evaporate quite quickly. So low concentration only get on your skin, evaporate after 5 minutes. The harm is not that great. Okay, so paraben will not cause much harm. Okay, because there is a difference between you put parabens on your skin and you consume your skin. Okay, that's why I said the way you contact with this chemical. Okay, eating chemical is more dangerous than inhale chemical, and inhale chemical is more dangerous than, if you get contact with your skin and it evaporate very quickly after that. Okay, so the take home message is, when you say any chemicals is dangerous or causing cancer, always ask yourself, what's either concentration or the dose? How did we get into contact with this chemical? Do you ingest it? Do you eat it? Do you swallow it? Do you inhale it? Or it just stay on your skin for 5 minutes? And also, a little bit side notes here. The characteristic of the chemicals is also important because some chemicals is volatile or it evaporate very quickly, or some chemical take very long time to decompose or to evaporate. That is for toxicology, and I will see you in